Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. I need to read out one of these comments. Uh, this is the best one of the day that caught my eye first thing this morning. Hi, Baz. This style of football we are playing, not sure about it. My wife wants to watch it with me. She says it's exciting. Should we get a bit of music in first thing in the morning? Nah, maybe not. Should we? Did that even work? Right, anyway, let's get into the Celtic news this morning because there is a lot to talk about, even though there's a bit of hilarity on the channel already. There's a couple of bits of headlines kicking about this morning. Hibs, a Hibs player. Celtic have shown interest, it says, in a player that Hibs got for absolutely nothing last summer. Celtic are amongst just a number of clubs. Have seen an article with Leeds United also being interested in the player, but we're all interested in Celtic. The 23-year-old Josh Mulligan. Do you think that Josh Mulligan would be a good player for Celtic? I know that a lot of you are football coaches out there and FIFA specialists. Tell me what you think about Josh Mulligan and coming to Celtic. Would they sell him? Can you read out my comments or I'll start green? That's it. I need to get the news done. 23-year-old's been attracting some interest from the likes of Rangers, who tried to sign him last year, but he decided to sign a 4-year contract with Hibernian only last summer. His contract does run until 2029, so will Celtic be able to prize him away? And let's face it, it's going to cost big money if he's got a contract until 2029. And who does he replace? Is he a replacement for Callum McGregor? Are Celtic looking at the fact that they may be losing Callum McGregor sometime in the near future and they need another Scottish player to come in? Defo Josh Mulligan, I said maybe Watson, maybe get rid of the dross that we have, and Scottish, there you go. It's an interesting one. But anyway, let's get on to the big bit of news that you're all waiting for. Daizen Maeda's price tag has been set according to a publication in Turkey. Don't blame me, blame the Turks. I'm only just telling you what's out there. Well, let's get to the article. It is in Turkish, but by the grace of God, we have the ability to turn it into English, just like that. As you can see here, we asked the terms. Trabzonspor made a surprise move in the January window. The Black Sea have added 28-year-old Japanese left winger Daizen Maeda, who plays for Scottish club Celtic, to their transfer shortlist. The scouting team have been following the Japanese player for a long time and are currently investigating the financial terms of his transfer. Maeda's contract with Celtic expires in 2027, and they reckon that a transfer fee of 14 million euros is what will be required by them to why is that changed back to Turkish? You pesky Turks, you. So the estimated value is 14 million euros, which comes in around about 13 million pound. Will Celtic be able to get 13 million? This season, Maeda has played in 26 matches for Celtic, scoring 7 goals and providing 6 assists. 7 goals and 6 assists, you'd say that, yeah, it's good. Maeda can also play as a striker and attacking midfielder, is reportedly on the transfer list if the financial terms are suitable. And it's been claimed that Trabzonspor are interested in another Japanese left winger also, who plays in France. So tell me what you think about that. That is coming straight out of Turkey. Don't blame me. I'm just reporting what is out there, and obviously the fact that this is coming out from a Turkish site. Is there any truth in it? Will Celtic sell Daizen Maeda after his performances? Daizen Maeda's either his agent. Trabzonspor are looking at Diego Rossi also. Seen a few days ago. That's interesting because I think that there's more chance of him. He played at Fenerbahce. Rossi. He played at Fenerbahce, so he may think that his time has came and been in that country, and he might look for the next step to try and get him to the top 5 leagues. And would going back to Turkey be good for the player, or would be following his manager that took him all the way to America from Fenerbahce, follow him to Celtic with the knowledge that if you do it at Celtic and you can try and do it in the European stage for Celtic, that there's a good chance that you can get a move to England, the promised land. So tell me what you think about that in the comments section. It's an interesting bit of news. Will it happen? I think that we're all agreed that it looks like Daizen Maeda may be on his way out of Celtic. No matter what was alleged said and what's been said by the manager says we hope to try and keep him after the next transfer window. Could we afford Rossi's wages? Maeda should be valued at 18 million. On his current form, you'd be lucky to get 5 million. He's come at the end of his time here naturally, but this window's the right time to sell him. Yes, it is. We'll get less in the window in the summer. 13 million, grab it. Grab it. Right, let's get to Luke McCowan, because Luke has been talking to the Scottish media, and Luke says that he dispels the Celtic myth under Wilfred Nancy with an eyebrow raising verdict. That's a bit harsh. Have they? Anyway, managers changed the setup. The setup's been remodelled. According to Luke McCowan, nothing major has changed at Celtic, the way that they're going about their business under Wilfred Nancy. The midfielder says that he says it's all about taking risks and reaping the rewards. That's an interesting way to put it for Luke, isn't it? It's all about taking risks and reaping the rewards. Were we risk averse under Brendan Rodgers? You know, the side to side passing stuff, keeping the ball. You know, it was about controlled, trying to get the perfect passive play to create the perfect opportunity, to create the perfect goal. Under Wilfred Nancy, when the ball clicks and we're playing this fast attacking football style, it is good to watch. I mean, when you watch against Aberdeen, I've watched that back a couple of times now, and you know, the one-touch passing stuff was phenomenal. When that starts clicking to a striker that can control the ball and put the ball in the back of the net, we're going to start scoring for fun. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see what players come in the next transfer window. I'm not actually too worried about players leaving in the transfer window. For once, I think that the majority of the players that I wouldn't want to leave are currently injured. Jota and Alistair Johnston. So it's a good thing for them that Jota's not going to go anywhere. He's had his time away. I think he'll go a good 2-3 years now at Celtic after he comes back from injury. Alistair Johnston, on the other hand, if he excels at the World Cup, you never know, you might get teams coming for him. But the Wilfred Nancy effect, could that give Alistair Johnston the longevity at Celtic? And does it put him in contention with Kieran Tierney to be Celtic captain? There's lots of things to think about. But anyway, Luke McCowan might raise a few eyebrows with the fact that he says not a lot has changed. He says the fundamentals of bossing the ball consistently, chapping at the opposition's doors, and ensuring that our own doors. Somebody might want to tell him that the door's no bolted shut. If anything that's bolted, it's the defenders. The defenders have bolted out the door. Luke McCowan then goes on to say, look, Nancy putting in a horror start of 4 consecutive beats. He's put it behind them. We've had back-to-back wins over Aberdeen and Livingston. A lot of people, including me, said, look, if we lose those games, sayonara. Sayonara to the manager. He has to go. But he believes in his own system. He's a bit like Ange Postecoglou. People will start to make the comparisons between the Aussie Greek and the Frenchman. And will it be a case of Celtic playing French fancy football in the new year? Hey, anyway, we need to make sure that any ideas the manager has, the players need to work hard to get them across on the pitch, says Luke McCowan. That's the message that we have as players. Playing at Celtic is always risk and reward. We play like no other team in the league. We invite teams on and we play a passing game. The percentages are higher on our side than they are on other teams. the risk and reward of it. If we lose the ball in areas of the pitch, the other team can come on and can be in your final third and score goals. When you've got Yang in defence and Tony Ralston in defence, it's quite easy to get past them sometimes. And when you look at it, when it works, you've then got Yang, who has turned into the roadrunner down the side of the pitch. And if his finishing, I mean, he scored a good few goals, but if he's passed and everything, will he still be at Celtic after the next transfer window? That's the big question. If Celtic are going to bring in £13 million for Daizen Maeda, will that be enough to finance some other deals to bring in the players that Wilfred Nancy wants? Will Yang still go for £3 million down to Birmingham? That would take our income in this window to £16 million. Will the manager get £16 million to spend in this window? I think we might be surprised, and I think that we might. But anyway, unfortunately for Celtic, the defence wasn't as good as what maybe Luke McCowan thinks it is. We lost 2 early goals. But the way that we came back in the game, you've got to say it was a crazy 10 minutes of football. It's been a long time since Celtic scored 2 goals in 10 minutes. Any game. Even my father, when I was home, said, Celtic are shite. They never scored in the first 20 minutes. Like, fucking pish, son. And I was like, fair point, that. And there we go. There was 4 crazy goals in the first 10 minutes of a game. I've not spoke to him since that, actually. I need to speak to him. But anyway, Yang for Kyogo, I've heard. Don't say that. God, honestly. That's going backwards. Kyogo should not come back. There's some sense in this morning. But anyway, Luke McCowan says, before turning on the style for a 4-2 win, Benji Negrin, the bright spot, McCowan wants the spirit in the Celtic rants. He wants more spirit and belief. That comeback, he says, is bringing that about. But under Nancy, the 20-year-old admits, he says, you need to have a bit of belief in yourself, regardless of what the score is. We have shown in previous games that we need to have belief and be calm. Even though there's mayhem going on the pitch side and there's mayhem going on in the stands with fucking shite, you fucking motherfucking piss. The players have to block out the noise and just focus on the pitch. He says, even if there's noise outside, we need to stay focused on ourselves. We managed to do that and win the game by the end of the first half. We need to keep on top of that, says Luke McCowan. It was a game between 2 teams who were pretty open, if I'm being honest. It wasn't the start of the game that we wanted. We wanted to try and dominate as much as we could, but we didn't do that. However, it shows the spirit of the players that we fought back. We have the quality in the team. Benji came up with a cracker. He was all over the pitch, which is the way that the manager wants him to play. And it's good to know that the manager was looking to take him to America before Celtic snapped him up. McCowan's now started the last 3 games, and while his position on the left of midfield is something new for him, the playmaker is just happy to get minutes on the pitch. Now remember, there was a lot of negativity around Luke McCowan. There was a lot of negativity about that he'd fallen out with the manager, and there was an allegation that he told the manager that if he's going to play him in defence, he's going to look for a new club in the next window. There's a lot of negativity from certain parts of the media wanting Wilfred Nancy to start. I noticed at the Daily Record they've got their daily piece on Wilfred Nancy's just 1 game away from crisis at Celtic Park. I don't believe so. I think that no matter what the results are over the next 2 games, Wilfred Nancy will be given time to build the squad that matters in the next transfer window. I cannot see him getting sacked now. He will be given to the end of the season no matter what. If we lose, I don't think that we will lose against Motherwell. We'll come to Motherwell in a minute because there's a shock. I'm going to upset a lot of you. We will not go top of the league if we win tonight. We would need to score 5 goals. But we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. I was going to leave that till tonight's video where we do a preview. But anyway, Luke McCowan says, Look, he felt he was being targeted by Livy players. He said it's a battle. I tell you that. They pinpointed me on the left side. They put every header on me, which wasn't great. Listen, I'm starting to play, and that's the most important thing. I want to help the team. I just want to get game time. I want to be here, and I want to be winning, and I want the boys to do well. So I just want to keep doing it. It's a huge week. Celtic face Motherwell tomorrow night, with the chance to go level with Hearts at top of the table. We will not go top unless we score 5 goals, and I can't see it. I'll tell you why in a minute. But if we stick together as a group, says Luke McCowan, and we keep pushing and fighting, if we do that, our qualities will shine through. It's always a hard time of year. We play so many games, and with so many players out injured, we keep fighting, we keep believing, and the most thing is to win, which we did on Saturday. When you think about the players that we've had out injured this season, when you think about how bad we have been this season, when you think about we're on our 3rd manager of this season, we win tonight and we go joint top. Yet we're not happy. I can understand why we're not happy, and we can blame it on whoever. But I think that when you hear players like Luke McCowan talking up the manager, talking up what he's trying to do at the club, I think it will all work out in the end, I think, personally. A lot of people might not want it. I see one comment there says, I wouldn't trust him to buy me a carry out, never mind a striker. McCowan's a very good player. And he's been saying in the paper we are losing goals, so McCowan is going to say we were losing too many goals. He's bang on. Yeah, he is bang on. He tells it as it is, which should always play. Good to hear from McCowan. I only want players here who want to be here. Any player with second thoughts and or doubts the manager, get them in the window. Yeah. We might score 5, and Motherwell might score 6. It's going to be a crazy game. Now, I don't think that Motherwell will score 6, because I'll show you the previous Motherwell games in just a second. I'm going to Motherwell and their matches. Let's just change the screen. And this is the reason I do not think that Celtic will go top of the table. We'll go joint top of the table, but we will not overtake Hearts. And the 2 goals that we gave away in the game against Livingston are the reason that we will not go top of the table tomorrow night. Now, this is some of the games where Motherwell have played in. You see they got beaten by Rangers. Dundee, they beat Dundee. Let me just change the screen a bit. Move this over here. The Motherwell Livingston game, they beat Livingston 3-0 on the 6th of December. They drew with Dundee United away. They drew with Hearts. They drew with Falkirk. They're not shipping a lot of goals. How are we expecting to score 4 goals? How are we expecting to win 4-0 against a team that defensively are doing pretty well? They beat in November, the end of November, they won 2-0 against Hibernian, who just beat Rangers. Kilmarnock, they beat Kilmarnock at Kilmarnock 3-1. St Mirren beat them 4-1. That was the League Cup semi-final, and they drew with Aberdeen 1-1. So there's not a lot of, they've not taken a tank in. You have to go back to October when Celtic beat them 3-2 at Celtic Park. So unfortunately for us, when it comes to it, we will not go top of the league because we need too many goals. We need at least 4 or 5. I think we need to win by 5-0 to go top of the league. Let's just get the table. Get the table up on the screen. And as you see there, just shift this over here. Hearts are sitting on a goal difference of 21 with 41 points. Celtic win tonight, they'll be on 41 points. But we've got a goal difference of 17. We need to win 5-0. It's not going to happen. What will happen is we will be joint top and it's a level playing field. And I said about a month ago that Celtic need to start banging in goals because I didn't think that we would be level going into the new year, I'll be honest. I thought that there was games that I thought we could have won. Now, nobody expects us to lose 2 games in the trot in the league, which has cost us. I mean, those 6 points would have had us away ahead, top of the table. It gives us one thing. It gives us a title challenge with Rangers just creeping up the table. You would expect them to win tomorrow night. Also, it puts everyone at the halfway point of the season. Puts everyone on the same games. Probably St Mirren. St Mirren have still got a game to catch up. But will Celtic win 5-0? No. And I'm just going to come out and say that there is, if we do, my goodness, what a game we'll have had. But like I say, Motherwell have not shipped in more than 2 goals. 3 goals you have to go back to when they played Celtic, but then we shipped in 2 goals. So there's one thing for sure, it does make it a fantastic title fight going into the second half of the season. And January is going to be more important than any. Will Celtic get in the players that they need in this window? Keogh coming back is a big no for me. I don't think anybody really. When's Jota coming back? According to some reports, it could be February. But Celtic have also said, when Jota got injured, Brendan Rodgers said at the time, Celtic will not rush Jota back. The worst thing that you can do with the injury that Jota had is rush him back. We need him for the tail end of the season, yes. If it was me, you're talking March before he's coming back, because he's not on the pitch training yet with the other players. He needs to get back onto the pitch. He needs to build up his strength. He's looking rather thin. He needs to build up his physicality again. And, we need for Thursday mornings coming for this board to grow some balls and back the manager. Will they back him? Jota back early January? I can't see that, Jack. It was February that it was noted, and even then, like I just said, we get rid of all our wingers we just put in and get in wing backs. It's a shambles. Homemade bucket, I hear February. Hibs tried to play like Celtic and it paid off. Hearts and Rangers have never changed for over 30 years. There you go. There we go. Motherwell won't score 6. Rangers are absolutely honking, and couldn't even get 1 goal. Does that really leave Celtic in a position where we're going to score? If Livy can score 3 in the first few, they scored 2 in the first few minutes. Jim says, I agree with you, Baz. He'll be given time, and I think McCowan is right. Yeah, I think Luke McCowan's honest when he talks about. He doesn't hide. He tells it as it is. The thing is, he knows he has to, because if he doesn't, his Celtic family, his Celtic friends are all going to pull him up about it. If Luke McCowan was to go into an interview at Celtic and just waffle a load of old pish, could you imagine as soon as that interview goes out, his phone's going to start flashing up going, you talk some shite, you prick. What the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? Do you know what I mean? Fucking throw the phone away. But it doesn't. It doesn't matter at this point if we drop, at this point if we don't go top. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we don't go top. What it does do is it puts us on a level playing field. It's like the beginning of the season all over again. The title race starts now. Forget about what happened the first quarter of the season, about how bad we were under Brendan Rodgers. Forget about the little love fest that we had in November with Martin O'Neill coming back and our eyes all fluttered and we all went into puppy dog style and went, oh, Martin O'Neill's back. No, we need to forget that. It's all behind us. Wilfred Nancy's here to stay, at least until the end of the season. He's not going to go anytime soon. I don't think so. Do you think that he'll keep playing Sinisalo? Sadly, no. I hope he brings him in for the cup games. Sinisalo needs time on the pitch. It's like outfield players need time on the pitch to get their sharpness up. Goalkeepers need the exact same. Do you know, it's okay doing training stuff week in, week out, but live game stuff, you've got to be sharp. And I kind of think that, you know, that take the two goals away from it. One of them was a curving shot into the top of the net. If he'd got his hand to it, it still would have went in. The power that was on that shot. The second one comes off the post and goes in. Do you know, even if he did get his hand to it, would it have went the other side of the post? You could say yes, but you know, you've got to look at the defenders at that moment. The wing back for Livy gets past two Celtic defenders to get his shot away. So you've got to say, but Sinisalo made some fantastic saves. Some people will say his distribution was poor. In this first game back, you can't judge a keeper on one game. Look what he did last season, Sinisalo. He was absolutely fantastic on a consistent run of games. They're no difference. No different. A clean sheet under Nancy. You made it. Jota, Balakwisha, Tenekti, Maeda don't fit the system. How do you know that? How do you know that? I'm saying nothing. I'm just saying, how do you know that they don't fit the system? Have you spoken to the manager? Has the manager told you that personally? How much have Celtic said the Super Samurai can be sold for? 13 million pounds. I did do it at the beginning of the thing. You need to go back and watch it again, and you'll be able to do that in roughly about 4 minutes' time. Do you think that Jota can play in a front three? He played in a front three when he was at Celtic before. Just saying. Jota played in a front three before. Where do you think Jota played? Should have sold him last summer. He would have got 25, 30 million. There lies the problem at Celtic, isn't it? Never mind 5-0. I'm not convinced that we can beat anyone with that idiot Nancy in charge. Still naysayers in the ranks. Of course there's going to be naysayers, and I appreciate that there will always be naysayers. But I think when you look at the positives that comes from the way that we're playing, the positives against Aberdeen, they weren't there as much against Livingston. Livingston were right up for it. It was on their patch. I think that tomorrow night, is another chance for Wilfred Nancy to show that what he's doing at Celtic is turning the corner. And is it just because he's a foreign manager? But anyway, we've had a lot of bad luck with short-term injuries, as well as at least 5 times. 5 hamstring. Yeah, no. Soft tissue. That's why we're continuing to be slower. What's the point in selling players for big money when the board won't spend it back on decent players? Well, it's the manager. I'm not getting into this morning. We've got a whole month of it ahead of us, with the transfer window opens in just a few days' time. Yes! A whole month of talking Celtic transfers again, and nothing will happen but tumbleweed. And maybe we'll do some other little videos where we just Celtic fucking buy something. Celtic fucking buy someone. Celtic fucking buy someone. Maybe put it out there in the ether. Jota's not the answer in this formation. But Jota played in a front three at Celtic before. It's funny. Mad Dog's maybe had a bit too much Mad Dog 2020, or he's a professional football coach. I see Tenekti getting a lot of praise. Yes. And saying that he may be leaving in January also. Would you take a big offer for Tenekti if it came in? It's a Celtic style. We've done it with Nico Kuhn. Nico Kuhn only had half a season. Let's face facts. Nico Kuhn came in the winter transfer window and he was absolutely wash. He was terrible. He had half a season at Celtic where he was on fire. He did it in the Champions League. Second half of the season, he was shite. But we got 15 million for him. And Como are now saying, I think we maybe got done. 15 million for this geezer. It'll take Jota to the end of the season to reach full fitness. It was that centre forward, centre back, between the sticks, other end. But we have these. Yep, Maeda's off. So is Hatate, Ralston, Scales. I do not think that Ralston, Scales, Balak Wisher. Yes, it's just a vehicle driving past. Thank you. Jota won't be the same player this season. We'll need to wait for next season for him. Yes, that is very true. You know, where do you keep Yang? He's doing all right since Martin came in. He's done better since Martin's left. Just saying. Jota can't come back too early, even if he wins. Yeah, he's got to, you've got to bring him in slowly. You know, Luke McCowan was captain at Dundee. Do you see him as being a future captain at Celtic? Oh, that's an interesting one because we spoke about this before. Does he have the vocalness on the pitch? Is he a shouter on the pitch? Does he command respect on the pitch from the players? He could be a number 2, but it all depends on if Callum McGregor leaves in this window or the summer. It's an interesting one for the future captain because you've got Kieran Tierney who came through this, and I think that it will go down to the hierarchy of the football player. And you know, Luke's a Celtic fan. You can't take that away from him. But when you've got a player that's came through the ranks, it tends to fall. And this is at any football club, it tends to fall that, well, he came through the system, he's the most experienced player, he's the most expensive, that was sold, that came through the academy. So you would automatically go for Kieran Tierney as captain. But Kieran Tierney, his name is Johnston. Alistair Johnston would need to come out 10 minutes before the start of the game to do the huddle. Right, lads. You just feel like, you finished, AJ. Yeah, Jesus, that was a team talk and a half. Alistair Johnston's a talker. You know, he loves talking to the media. He never shuts up. You know, you get him started, and it's like, we've only got like 30 seconds. Alistair, could you fit everything that you've got to say in 30 seconds of this interview? Aye. Oh, jeez. So Luke McCowan as captain. Luke McCowan, in my eyes, is future captain, not KT, purely for his love and time, and knows what it means to play, and what is needed. Doesn't Kieran Tierney have that same love and affection for the club? His dad's a Celtic supporter. All Kieran Tierney's family were Celtic supporters. They came through the system. Anyway, nothing's changed major under Nancy. McCowan is talking absolute shite. I suppose he'll say anything to get a gain. He might do even better because he's getting a game, not a gain. I get it. I get the negative over Celtic, but at times it's hard not to think so. We just have to be patient, says Jim. I think your coaching staff is the best thing we've had in years, but time will tell. Yeah, let's talk about the coaching staff because we all spoke about it. We all wanted some kind of change. We all wanted formation change. We were all fed up of Brendan Ball, side to side passing stuff. All Luke McCowan said is said, look, we're taking a bit more risk. You know, we're being more risk averse under this manager. We're not playing it safe. And by not playing it safe, you know, sometimes if you give the ball away at the wrong point, aka Tony Ralston did, it puts you under pressure on your third. But the rewards for doing the risky stuff far outweighs the negatives. And I think that the players are starting to enjoy playing with that bit of risk. You know, not changing the point of attack. You've all got fed up of the side to side passing shit. You know, the comments on here was, you know, it's here we go again, more fucking bore fest. But right at the start of the show, we had a comment saying that I don't know about this Wilfred Nancy stuff. My wife wants to watch the football with me. She says it's exciting. You know, but anyway, it is what it is. We're all allowed our own thoughts. No mistake from Sinisal for goals, unlike Schmeichel. Ooh. Realistically, will Celtic bring players in the window? Yes, they will. Always difficult to bring in quality unless it's unknown players. Celtic always bring in unknown players when it comes to it. It's gone are the days. I mean, we still think of the days when we bring in Hartson and Chris Sutton from. We can't afford players like that now. The 25 grand bracket that these players were on back in the day is now £110,000 a week bracket. Kieran Tierney was on 115,000 at Arsenal. We cannot afford to bring in £115,000 players to complement Celtic, to make us better, to make us compete with the higher end of the English Premiership. Those days are past. The financial doping of the English Premiership by Sky Television, to say the least, has made sure that the money has all went down south. The money isn't there for that type of thing in Scottish football. But we still have the financial clout to bring in players and pay them better wages on the clubs that they're at. Gustav Lagerbielke was on 15 grand a week. Norobski was on 15 grand a week. Shows you the money that they were on, even though they weren't deemed good enough at Celtic. But it's all about quality, isn't it? And not quantity. And that's one thing that Wilfred Nancy has said. He doesn't want to bring in quantity. He wants to bring in quality. Hence the reason that we didn't buy in a lot of players during the summer, because allegedly Brendan Rodgers said no to some players that were put in front of him. Fickle. Wilfred came in and not using his resources correctly. He shows he's only going with his style. It means we have to sell wingers to bring in wing backs. I always say, if you're going to be, you know the score in this channel. If you are going to be abusive, there's only one thing that happens, and it's sayonara. See you tomorrow. It's the holiday season. If you're not going to be nice, you're not going to be seen. No more comments from you today. Bye. Oh, I love it. See, that's the power I have. The only power I have. Do you know? Mrs. has the rest. The game is on Tuesday, but yeah, I know. I keep on saying tonight or tomorrow, but anyway. Oh, Jesus. Mikey boy's at it again. We've been unlucky this season. Long-term injuries, yes, we have that. Please keep Sinisalo from now on. Give him time to build. Humpty Dumpty will be back. This is true. Sinisalo done weak for his first game in a long time. I think Jota's perfect for this system. I do, honestly. Well, he played in the front. He played in the front three. I don't know how people could say that Jota doesn't fit this system. He played in the front three for Ange. So, but anyway, yes, the game's today, tomorrow, to me, to you. It's Christmas time. What day is it? It's that in between time of Christmas and New Year where you wake up in the morning and you go, what fucking day is it? I was planning stuff for Wednesday night, and then you realise, fuck me, it's Old Year's night, isn't it? What the fuck? Don't know. But anyway, if you all have an idea what day it is, you've not had as good a holiday season as what I've had, and I'm going to jump right through the comments. Yes. Baz, you read a lot of comments the wrong way, man. Yeah, well, like I said before, we've now had 300 comments on. I'm not reading 300 comments. I get how Nancy, it's hard they were watching the car crash and Nancy's game plan. There we go. Motherwell just hit the ball over the top like Sevco. Will do right from the start. Hitting back, the back line were open at the back. 6-3 tomorrow. 6-3 tomorrow? Don't think so. Jota will do well in this formation. There we go. £100 million. Players are not getting any better. Cannot watch EPL. Sooner or later it will collapse. We've been saying that about the English Premier League for a long time, that it would collapse, but unfortunately it hasn't. It still gets money pumped into it. Right, quick update on Celtic news. See if there's anything fresh come out this morning. No, it's all about Leeds United now joining the race for Josh Mulligan. Anyway, on that note, I'll see you tonight for the preview of the game tomorrow night, where Celtic travel to Motherwell. I don't even know where I am to be at the moment. Tell me about it. You wake up in the morning and you're like, fucking, what day is it, man? It's fucking no idea. No idea. Anyway, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Make sure that you join me tonight, Celtic part-time, 8 p.m, where we could talk about the game tomorrow, Motherwell versus Celtic. Last comment. Whoever replaces Calmack as captain is going to have to be the first name on the team sheet. At the moment, no one fits the bill. This is very true. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. And to those that have no idea what day time it is, you've had a fantastic holiday season. For those that do, losers.